Okay, Nintendo, we need to talk. I understand that you guys are not the ones who develop a lot of your mobile games, but the developers of your mobile games are not good listeners, but you are. So I'm just here to talk. Recently, some of your mobile gacha games have reached a point where it's beginning to feel exploitative. Gacha, as I've said many times on this channel, gacha is inherently gambling. There is no way around that. The fact that you get something with a mercy mechanic doesn't change the fact that you are still gambling your funds on something you want and may not get. That can already be troubling, but Fire Emblem Heroes is a fairly generous game. For the most part, you can generally get the 5-star that you're after in a good 100 orbs or so, hopefully. But the trouble is, while I completely understand that you guys want money, what you're doing now, it's not, it comes off as extremely greedy and exploitative. And here's what I mean. Now, I'm not above paying money for these games, and I do. I've actually spent a lot of money in Heroes. For no reason other than I just like playing them. I can't play console games. They are not only too expensive, but mostly I can't play them because I get addicted to them too easily. And when that happens, it's too big of a distraction for me when I have other things to do. So I can't play them. But mobile games I can play because, I have my phone with me all the time anyway. Mobile games are not very linear. I can usually play the game and then put my phone away and move on, and I can play throughout the day. So I don't mind investing funds in that, but the thing is, I feel like I'm not being respected for that. I feel like when I'm giving money, all you want is more. And the thing about Fire Emblem Heroes is, the game, I think, is making plenty of money, and yet it's taking away more and more free-to-play orbs. And I'm not opposed to spending money, but I am not made of money. I don't have money just growing on trees. I don't have a job right now. The money I spend on this game is, there's not much of it to spare. But I like to give myself a good time now and then, so I'm fine with it. Except, it's becoming, this is becoming an unhealthy relationship. It's not cool, especially when you keep taking free-to-play orbs away as we go along. I think you guys have taken away almost 20 intelligent systems, I should say. It's not you, Nintendo. It's intelligent systems. And then, but the reason I bring this to Nintendo's attention is because this is also a problem in Dragalia Lost. Dragalia Lost is... oh man. If that Nintendo seal were not on the Dragalia Lost title, I would think that it was created by a sketchy startup company, because that's how abysmal the rates are. I recently quit a gacha game called Food Fantasy because it was legitimately scamming people out of their money. It's a very bad game, don't play it. Everything about it was sketchy. I wish I'd caught on from the start. I don't know if the game is still going. I imagine it won't last long. But it's very abusive towards its customer base, in my opinion. And I don't want that for Heroes. I don't want that for Dragalia Lost. And they're not to that point yet, I don't think. But Dragalia Lost is, I think, even worse than Food Fantasy in some ways, because the rates in the gacha for Dragalia Lost are just that horrible and completely unfair, especially for the price that they charge for pulling in this game. It's incredibly horrifying to me. I watch people on YouTube all the time throw hundreds and hundreds of dollars away on the game, and they don't get anything. They don't get anything. I see people do like 17 pulls and get nothing. It's super, it's disgusting. And then they wonder, And then Cygames actually had the guts to say, well, you know, if it weren't for Nintendo, we would be making way more money. It's just that Nintendo is not interested in making money off a mobile game. But, like, Nintendo told you to dial back on the microtransactions. So you basically just confessed to me that if it weren't for Nintendo, you would be exploiting your customers even more. And that's very unsettling. So, moving forward, I think it's time for, you know, mommy and daddy to step in here. Like really step in here. Like, hands-on step in and just, like, really watch and make sure that these games are being fair, because it makes Nintendo look greedy, and I know Nintendo doesn't want that. They value their reputation so much because that is what makes people happy to spend money on their products. That's what makes them able to keep the prices on their games continuously expensive. The prices never deflate or anything, but they can afford to do that because it has that Nintendo seal of quality. And they have a well-earned reputation of being a fair, generous, trustworthy company. So the fact that their mobile division continues to do this is very concerning. And I understand that these games plan these things months in advance. So a lot of this whaley stuff that they have going on, that could just be left over, and they just haven't. We won't be seeing the effects of Nintendo telling them to knock it off for another couple of months, but even so, we have to address this now, because, you know, what if they don't dial back? What if it just gets worse? We have to keep talking about this and make sure that change occurs, because I just want to ensure that this trend doesn't continue. This trend of IS slowly but steadily taking away our free orbs, and I really wish that there was a way to put an end to Dragalia loss, horrible, horrible gacha, because it's truly, truly painful and harmful and just really not okay. And that's kind of why I made this video, because I don't think we talk about it enough. We need to make sure that, you know, if Intelligent Systems and Cygames aren't listening, Nintendo definitely is. So we just need to make sure that somebody hears us and that things can improve. And to illustrate why this is an issue, you can't treat your player base like that. It's just not healthy for your game's stay power. You know, in Heroes, you need to be able to maintain enthusiasm among your players, and when you take away orbs, you're taking away opportunities for enjoyment, opportunities for sharing in the enjoyment with others, and spreading the game's awareness. I am personally really annoyed right now because I had set aside money and orbs for the next Mythic banner, where I was going to go all in for Legendary Ryoma and Veronica and Halloween Mia, because I really, really wanted them. I was really excited, and I was more than happy to spend what I needed to spend to get everything that I needed. But then I saw on the calendar that the Bond Skills banner is happening at exactly the same time. And the Bond Skills banner just so happens to... well, I'm 99.9% certain that Bo Hinoka is coming back finally, and that really ruins my plans. I am no longer excited. Now I'm just stressed out because I don't think I have money to cover both banners, and there aren't enough free-to-play orbs to help me out, and that's not a good feeling. That's not the feeling that you want your player base to have. You don't want them to be upset at the game constantly and to not feel excited. You don't want these negative feelings, you know, in a constant feedback loop within your game. It's not good for your stay power. It's not good for your marketing power. It's not good for your profit. It's not good for anything. It really isn't. I know that these games care more about their paying players than they do about their free players. I don't deny that. But you have to care about your free players too. You have to care about having a full player base. You have to care about having a wide player base. You need to care about the enthusiasm generated by the game. You need to care about the competitive nature of it, and keep it in a good harmony. Because if it's just you dropping whale bait all the time, and whales will dump, hundreds of thousands on the game, and your free-to-play players can't keep up, like, your player base is going to dwindle, and it's just going to become extremely unhealthy and imbalanced, and the game will fall apart. And I don't want that for you. I don't want these games that I like to become that horrible. So, please, I beg of you, Nintendo, please just make sure that these games are being fair and balanced. Please just keep the game healthy. That's all I can ask. And thank you guys for watching this. I encourage you to send feedback to IS, send it to Games, and also send it to Nintendo. But make it constructive feedback. Don't meme at them. Don't send them dumb feedback. Let's be intelligent and mature about this, because I really want them to listen to us. Because I really want these games to do well, and I want them to be well, and I don't think that's going to happen if we're not vocal, and if we're not making sure that they listen and pay attention. So, thank you for watching this video. I really hope that we can keep talking about this problem, and I really hope that things can get better from here on out. So, happy playing, and I look forward to pulling on the Mythic Banner as much as I can. As I said, I'm not as excited as I was, because now I feel like I'm going to be lucky if I get one copy of each hero that I need. So, I guess we'll see what happens. I guess we'll just see what happens. So, have a good week, and, spend wisely.